As part of our inspirational message series, we will be exploring confidence this month. And like a toddler, we are going to each take that first step and shine bright. My name is Joe Courier.
And I'm Tracy Anderson. Welcome to the Light and Love Box channel. You are part of a growing community bringing peace, possibility, and prosperity to help transform our world with light and love.
Hey, Tracy.
Hello.
We get to start out with a riddle today.
Okay.
So, what do you think you get when you add a peacock feather with some orange candles, perhaps a sunrise pendant? What comes to mind?
Well, we know the peacock is confidence.
And shining brightly.
Yep. So it must be that.
It's the way that we are going to help to bring forward confidence for ourselves and for others, and the confidence that we have for our growing community.
Yes, it's actually going to be a very beautiful ceremony this month. I'm very excited for people to experience it.
It is.
Yes.
It is. I was thinking about confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and you and I had chatted earlier, and we came up with some of the things that just innately we know confidence is a part of, like being a toddler, and before you get to toddle, learning how to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pondering on that, and I came across a Mark Twain quote, which I thought was really apropos for this. Mark Twain says, "All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure." Which, when you look at it from a child's perspective, that perspective of the little one who is not quite yet a toddler,
Mm-hmm.
being naive and thinking, oh, the adults around me are walking, I can walk.
Yep.
It's not a case of not having confidence. It's a case of growing stronger, coordination, balance. But I don't think there was ever a toddler who looked around and said, oh, I'm not good enough to do that.
Right. Well, that's taught. That type of behavior is taught. So I love that part of ignorance. People probably, when they hear that, they're like, oh, you don't want to be ignorant or whatever. But
Well, ignorant bliss.
yes, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
I can think of all those different sayings about what you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know that you can't do something, you just innately do it.
Yep, you just make it happen.
And that's what confidence is. It is that sense inside of ourselves that we have from the moment that we're born, that truly anything is possible.
Yeah.
But then the adult perspective comes in, and we'll get back to that.
Yes. So, we recently had an experience where, I was able to come to Ways to Wellness here and be part of the fair and
Our Wellness and
Yep.
Intuitive Fair, celebrating our anniversary.
Yes, and it was this amazing experience. I was very pleasantly surprised. I've never done anything like that before, and so
But you confidently stepped in, didn't you?
I did, and it was amazing. Like, I had some apprehension ahead of time, and then once I got here, and it just all came together, and then I was able to do it confidently. But what I ended up doing was a bind rune ceremony with people. So essentially, they would pick something that they wanted to manifest in their life, whether it was it was a positive manifestation, or something that they wanted to have positive change, or whatever. So I directed them to write that down, and then they had an opportunity to, we cleansed the space, we set the ceremony, did everything.
All the things that happen to create magic.
Exactly. And so I had a pie dish on the table, and so then they were guided to draw 3 runes that were part of that energy that they were putting out,
Right.
that they wanted to manifest. So they would draw out those those 3 runes, I would turn it into a bind rune, which is really just the combination of those runes into one symbol.
Right.
And then that amplifies that energy. And so we put that on a talisman, and then that became something they could take away and carry and kind of reaffirm that energy, that manifestation energy that they're trying to accomplish. And so anyway, I tell you all that to say, I was confronted with a very interesting opportunity, and that was to work with a child.
And it wasn't just a child, this was a toddler. She had just turned 3.
Yes, so a very tiny person. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I've never had to take ceremony type concepts to a toddler, and this mom and this daughter were very, very excited to have her work with me. So I'm like, okay, let's make this happen.
And what was it that the toddler, or the mom and the toddler, were manifesting?
Ironically, okay, I worked with the mom first. So she wanted to do 2 separate ceremonies. I had worked with a mom and a daughter earlier, but they wanted to do theirs together. Okay, so it was a very different experience. This toddler wanted to work with me by herself. Okay, and so I worked with the mom, then it was time for the child. And to my surprise, this little girl was able to, even though her mom was trying to guide her to come up with her manifestation, gave her certain recommendations, this child told me that she wanted to manifest confidence. And it just kind of set me back because, normally a child that age would kind of tend to go more with what the parent was guiding them to, but she was set. This is what she was going to do. And that little girl reached out her hands to me and did the whole ceremony with me. I mean, obviously there were certain components I had to simplify, but she was fully engaged in what we were doing. And it came time for her to draw her runes, and it was so beautiful what came out. She pulled the rune for journey, for growth, and openings, right? And what I probably should have brought something so I could have really shown how amazing that really was, because growth, it's the shape of kind of a B, and it's sharp points on the B, but then journey is an R with sharp points.
So it fit.
So over top, and she drew it in that order. So it was the B, then the R, and then opening is just like a symbol like this. And so it was the top part of the B and the R, and it all set right down on each other.
It was just like it stacked.
Yes, and this little girl, just in her pure innocent state, the talisman that she had chosen, that she wanted her bind rune on, was this beautiful white shell.
Seashell.
Yes.
A white seashell.
Yeah, and it just was, oh man, it was so beautiful and so amazing. And honestly, that was like a life-changing moment for me, to work with a child like that in such a beautiful way. And she grabbed the whole concept.
And it sounds like she really knew what she wanted, and Mom allowed her to have her opportunity to build to manifest what she wanted, which was to build confidence.
Exactly.
Which is so beautiful, because again, synchronicities, it just flows right into this whole thing that we're helping adults now to step into. Because confidence comes, as a teacher, doing things repetitively, when you do things over and over, you do get to build confidence because it becomes second nature in some ways. Or
Yeah.
you work your brain synapses so that those neural networks, the links are formed, and you have it down.
Well, it's almost like muscle memory.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but in your brain.
Yeah.
But from an adult perspective, we don't usually like to step into things that are unfamiliar. And why is that, do you think?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, we do know this. We know that cultural expectations can play a role into that. Institutions and how they teach people. That
Authority figures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those that are surrounding us as we grow up, either helping us with kind words and encouragement or negating us.
Exactly. And just societal like conditioning in general. You've got your experiences and
we have a sense of perfectionism. We want to do something in a way that in our mind seems perfect the first time. And it just doesn't happen that way. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's magical.
Right.
But other times you really have to begin, in my sense, to build a foundation. So it's like creating a building. We already have this structure. We are human beings. We have our thoughts, we have our experiences, we have our emotions, our energy, all of those things. So where is it that confidence resides within us?
Well, to me, I think the confidence is it's in there.
Exactly.
But those things that we're talking about, like the experiences, the thoughts, the beliefs, and all that stuff, I almost see that as the foundational part of where you're sitting, right? So you've got all those things, and then we're sitting on that foundation, right? And if those things are skewed, broken, we're looking through them through a distorted lens. If we can start repairing this, through things like forgiveness, or even just a simple act of recognition, being able to say, I'm doing certain things because of, I've been carrying around this belief. If you can start healing that structure that you're setting on, I believe the natural outcome of that is that confidence within you is going to grow.
I would agree. And I think sometimes even just the first or second, maybe even the third time that we step into something that's unfamiliar and we find that we enjoy it, or that we feel like we did it well, or we got feedback, then the things that are unfamiliar to us, we aren't as hesitant to step into.
Right.
Because we have begun, like you said, there's that foundation, but that confidence is like this little spark, this light inside of us. And every time something gives us the opportunity to expand that, it's like an ember, and when we get to breathe into it, then it glows a little brighter and gets a little stronger.
Yes, and that reminds me of, think about when you say confidence, there are a lot of people that immediately equate that to arrogance.
Oh, yes.
Right? So when you feel that spark and you get that excitement, you're doing something that's getting that flame to kind of grow and expand, society then tells us, you're arrogant.
Yeah.
Right? So then the natural is to, okay, well, my light is, I better cover that.
Well, and there has been a time when, or multiple times over history, where women who had that confidence, that was not accepted. It was more of a masculine trait. And again, this light, you had to shield it so that you didn't outshine or create more change or have a stronger sense of self than those around you, whether they were masculine or feminine.
This is kind of weird, but I'm going to just say it. I was watching this video the other day with my husband, and just that you were just talking about, they gave people lobotomies for that.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Because it was a way of silencing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just like this, they're thinking of too creative of ideas. You better.
Yeah. Nix that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
our
blew
history.
my mind.
Yeah.
The things that people, like this one little girl, she had a lot of questions. So like her parents would say, oh, you need to do this. And she was just wanting to know, oh, okay, why do you do those things? Lobotomy.
Oh.
I cannot wrap my head around that type of thought.
Fear.
Yes.
It's fear.
It's fear-based.
Fear-based.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want, or whoever is in that space of trying to quell that, either they don't know how to approach it, or they don't want someone to be brighter, smarter, whatever adjective you want to use. It makes me think of my 3-year-old grandson, because his favorite word, and he has this little inflection, you share something with him and he goes, why? And he does it over and over, no matter, you can answer the why question and it's another, why?
Yes.
And so you just keep answering as much as you can.
Yeah. I don't know, but that is a very sad history that kind of our foundation of our society is built on, is squashing confidence.
And we are in the space where we're hoping to help people fan that ember within themselves. So that's why the September box to me is so important, because it's going to take what is already innately inside of us, and we are just going to expand that and create something that is going to be so far-reaching in people's lives. It's not just for one incident or for one moment. It then stretches far and beyond. I think we've talked about this before. As a teacher, I knew that for every negative in a child's life, anytime that they were negated or told no or you're wrong, it took 7 opposites, 7 positives to reverse that. And so I'm hoping that this is something that people can really grab a hold of and feel within themselves, and then just watch as it manifests and grows for themselves.
Well, and I think what will ultimately unfold for people too is that sense of purpose.
Yes.
Because I think when we do not experience the confidence that really truly is within, I think our purpose feels like it's lost, like you don't know what it is. You've
We're
almost
disempowered, and so then that sense of purpose is not something that you can even have a tangible concept of, because you don't have the confidence or the self-empowerment to explore,
right,
let alone step into it.
Right. Well, and maybe that is also part of why that has been taken from people, is because people with purpose live with passion.
Yes, we do.
and
we live joyfully, and I mean, it's true that we just do what we love, and we kind of say that we're working, but it's much more than that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pure joy.
Well, I'd like to invite those of you who wish to dig deeper to visit the link below to check out Light and Love Box and see about this subscription. These energy-based ceremonies each month are designed to help you focus on your true intentions to manifest your best life while healing your spirit, soul, mind, body, and emotions.
I thought it would be nice if we could end with some type of a blessing or a prayer, if you will, an empowering statement. And so, again, because I love research, I went back, and Irish blessings are always something that have resonated with me. And so I found what was called the Prayer of St. Patrick. And I took this, and I only took a small portion of this prayer. And I want to share this with everyone as our blessing to them as they move into this place of the community, the prosperity, the peace within themselves. And so today, from Tracy and I, here's our wish for each and every one of you who are listening. May you arise today through the strength of your inner heaven, through the light of the sun, the splendor of fire, the speed of lightning, the swiftness of the wind, the depth of the sea, the stability of the earth, the firmness of the rock, afar and near, alone or in multitude.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the next video in this inspirational message series.
Thank you.